Hey everybody, this is idioms, adages, and proverbs. So your learning target today is I can recognize and explain the common meaning of idioms, adages, and proverbs. I need you to write this target in your journal. Make sure that you underline the key terms that will be discussed in today's lesson. Recognize, explain, idioms, and adjectives, and as in proverbs. Please pause the video and write down your target. So, to recognize something is to identify someone or something from having encountered them before or know again. So, if you've seen it, you're better able to recognize it because you have seen it or you have encountered it before. For example, if you know what a simile or a metaphor is. So now you're able to recognize a simile because you have seen one before. You have created one before. So it's something easy for you to recognize or to identify. Please write this definition down in your journal. Next is explain. So explain means to make an idea, situation, or problem clear to someone by describing it in more detail. Detail, detail, detail. Or revealing relevant facts or ideas. You always hear me saying, give more detail. What I mean is, I want you to explain more. Make your thinking visible on paper. Give me more relevant facts, which means facts that are that align with the main idea. And give me more of your ideas. What are you thinking? Use it in details. That's all explain means. Please write this definition in your journal. Pause the video if you need to. Take your time. An idiom. So, idioms are phrases that mean something different than the sum of the words that comprise it. And what comprise means is how it's made up. Like, for example, she is bright eyed and bushy tailed this morning. Have you ever heard someone say that? She's bright eyed and bushy tailed. All that means is that she's cheerful and eager to work. It's just another way of saying it, that she's cheerful and eager. Your second example is he is ahead of the pack, which simply means he's just more successful than the others around him. When you're ahead of the pack, you're like that leader that is always striving to be better, and you kind of shine outside of the regular group that is around you. So again, an idiom is a phrase that means something different than the sum of the words that comprise it. Pause the video, write the definition, and at least one example in your journal. Then start thinking about some possible idioms that you've probably heard before, like your parents or your grandparents say, or even your teachers. So adages and proverbs kind of go together, okay? An adage is a proverb that has been used for a long time. A lot of the times you hear your grandma saying these type of things or your grandpa saying these type of things. Proverbs are statements that have practical wisdom inside them. The key word is wisdom. Wisdom comes from someone that has been around for a long time. So they encapsulate wisdom in simple words that everyone can understand and work on. One good example, when there's smoke, there's fire. That means there's always some reason for a rumor. Somebody's always got something to say. Take a minute, pause this video, write the definition of an adage and a proverb, and please write this example. All right, let's start exploring some idioms, adages, and proverbs. So use Google to search for examples of idioms, adages, and proverbs. Create a slide presentation showing an example for each. So you'll create a Google slide presentation, kind of like what I did today, except you would give me some more examples using Google. So your first slide, you want to have the example of the idiom and its meaning. Slide 2, you want to have the example of the adage and its meaning. Slide 3, an example of the proverb and its meaning. You can write this down in your journal as well, just to keep you reminded of what you're doing. All right. Can't wait to see what you come up with. But here's a rubric to help you get 100%. So if you have a slide with an idiom, along with the meaning, you'll get 30 points. Now, if you only have the example of the idiom, but you don't tell me what it means, you'll probably get half the points. So that's 15 points. But if you do the idiom and the meaning, you'll give me 30 points. Next, you need the slide with an example of an adage and the meaning for 30 points. And then the proverb and the meaning for 30 points. Lastly, ask yourself, is my presentation unique and creative? That means you have pictures, you have the meanings. Is it colorful, yet organized and neat? Don't get tied up in so many different colors and so many pictures. If you include pictures, only include one picture per slide. This part is worth 10 points. So altogether, your presentation is worth 100 points. 30, 60, 90, 100. Now, if you miss the meanings of each idiom, adage, and proverb, then you'll only get half of these points. Let me show you how to begin your slide presentation. The quickest way, or one way to get into Google Slides, is to go to your assignment in Google Classroom. Your assignment will be posted entitled Idioms, Adages, and Proverbs. Oh my! I don't have the screen, but on your screen, you will click Add or Create Assignment, and then go to the Google Slides and open up your slide presentation to begin. Another way is to go to your Gmail, go to this waffle here, go to Slides, and begin your presentation that way. Of course, you would hit the plus button to get started on a new presentation. Now, for all those that are researching, you can always Google anything. So for example, I need an example of an idiom. Example of an idiom. It gives me the meaning and it gives me an example, like get off of my back, stop bothering me. Those are great examples that you can use in your presentation. Good luck.